What's up, everybody? I'm back with another episode of the Keep Going podcast. Today's guest is Sonny Das. I was lucky enough to have him as episode 3 on the podcast, and today he's episode 133. So the journey has been so crazy. But Sonny has a history with dog bird hunting, waterfowl, military, martial arts, fatherhood, being a husband, and just such an intricate person with a great heart. I love that we can have such a varied conversation because our relationship has so many different levels, and being able to have another man that I can counsel with, talk about the good times, the bad times, and things we need to work on is a blessing most people don't have. But Sonny, I appreciate you being on the podcast. You mean the world to me. I hope everybody enjoys this episode. As always, keep going. It was cool that day too, because we went to the lake after and we're sitting there at Overholser, and I told you like I was wanting to take some steps with the podcast, like get more locked into the video and stuff. Yeah. And you're like, well, it doesn't mean you have to do it today. Just like set your goal, and then when it's that time, just do it. Yeah. And I think when we had that conversation, I was in the 50s.
Yeah, sounds right, because you had already projected all the episodes out.
And I was like, it'll be 100 at this time, and you're like, okay, well, then let's do it then.
Yeah.
I think I was overthinking it and wanting you to rush me or something, and you're like, no, bro, 100's fine. Just wait.
When the time's right, bro. It's just like, works out. Perfect.
Well, and that's why I felt good about meeting up with you again, is because the time always feels right, but it's like, you don't think that much time has passed.
I know, and then you think it's 130 episodes. That's a crazy schedule. You were on it.
It's been fun, man. It's cool to be sitting here with you because you're number 3, so you're from the beginning when I'm just kind of figuring it out.
Yeah.
Because even that day we talked about so much, but that was so early.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so early to where I didn't know what I was doing.
I'm about to say so much stuff has happened, and we've gone so many places with the pod, so it's like crazy to see from here to now.
And same for you, because we were talking before we hopped on with, like, you having multiple episodes across different types of podcasts, like on Spotify.
It's crazy to think about.
Especially because we feel so normal. Not normal, like we're not extraordinary at what we do, but just like normal folks.
Right.
And to know that there's that much data on you.
Yeah,
as far
just
as
like us chatting. Yeah. Like, these are my thoughts. They're in public. Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think about. That's what I'm like, whoa. That's insane to think about.
Man, I was just telling Cameron Burke yesterday
He's an investor too, right?
Yeah, I was telling him the Nebraska story.
Bro, that's such an elite story, because it was just like, you want to go hunt? You want to go hunt? All right, let's do it. Left at like midnight with 14 dogs. I would still tell people, they're like, 14 dogs? We're like, yeah, bro, we're pulling the trailer. The whole back was packed. We had like 2 coolers, all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, yeah, we went for a week, found the birds, time traveled.
Did we do a week though? It was quick.
It was like 5 days.
Really?
It was.
I thought it was only 3 days or 4 days.
But 3 days hunting and then 2 days traveling.
Oh,
because we did the Monday to Friday, and I was
yeah.
like, all right, we got to be back by the weekend. It was crazy, because when you think about it, it just happened.
Well, you had texted me about it because you were wanting to get back into bird hunting, and you're like, hey, we can go to Nebraska this day, and I was like, okay, all right.
And then Austin was like, yeah, I'm down. I need this.
And the fact that you all had the setup is what made me laugh, because I felt like, I came prepared as camp chef.
But I feel like Austin was prepared.
The trailer, everything, the truck. We just hopped in.
Yeah, literally. We had our stuff and hopped in. I was like,
I remember I had a case in a bag, and we hopped in, and then you all were like, yeah, so we're driving through the night. And I was like, all right, well, I will see you in the morning. I'm not doing that.
And I was supposed to nap, and I didn't nap because me and Austin were talking the whole time, and I felt bad, like, taking a nap and having him drive in silence through the night where we don't know where we're going. So I just stayed up and chatted with him. But it was like, in no time, he was like, bro, can you drive? And we're like 2 hours away. I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm up. We're here. So I just hit a Celsius. You know me. Hit the Celsius and I was on it.
It was crazy because I slept that whole time. And then when I woke up, it was probably 5 a.m. And it was when you all were coming over that huge hill in that small town before we got to Juanita. Yep. and I just woke up to the downhill slope. And I was just
we're
like, what?
It looks like we're underground.
I was like, where are you're like, we're almost there. I was like, what the fuck?
Where are you taking me? And it was really in the middle of nowhere. Like,
Yeah, the farmhouse.
even on the B&B, it said, like, if it's rainy, you might want to make sure your 4-wheel drive is working, because if you get stuck, like, we can't help you. I was like,
I've talked a lot about it from my perspective, but I want to learn more about it from your perspective. Like, setting it up, doing it after it had been so normal for you to hunt all the time, was it like reawakening, or was it just like what was it?
oh, I just did what I normally did. I figured out where we wanted to go, found out all the public spots or like the landowner spots around that area, and then I would drop pins. So then I kind of like internet scouted, and then I went through and checked forums and like other like bird dog forums, bird hunting forums, blah, blah, blah. And then essentially was kind of cross-referencing dates to where they said birds were good and, you know, this is what they're doing at this time, and we found them here. And I was like, okay, well, they found them here. We're staying here. That's 25 minutes. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, that was for, like, the grouse and pheasants. And I was like, quail and prairie chicken, we got to go here. So a little bit further, but, you know, it's in the same areas, roughly within 45 minutes to an hour. So, like, all right, we can move. We can make that happen. And then we showed up, and it was exactly that. That was what was crazy.
Yeah, it was everywhere, like you said. You said.
It was crazy. We saw birds everywhere. Whether we got a shot off, different story. But the birds were there. And for internet scouting, it turned out all right. I mean, we ended up with a prairie chicken, so that was cool. And a quail.
Well, we got, and the other one, the grouse. We had 3.
Yeah, well, we didn't shoot that one, though. I wish we did. We thought it was a hen pheasant, remember?
Oh.
And we're like, hen, and we didn't want to be poaching birds. I was like,
but
it was cool.
I thought it was crazy because it was kind of in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, we had all those rolling hills that we had to drive through to get to the small towns.
The 2 pivots, and then you hunt the outside, and it was kind of crazy to see it in real time.
Especially that one place we went to when we were done for the day. But then when we were driving home, we were like, there's a spot right there. And we ended up seeing birds. We didn't get one that day, but that was like that one close to the house that was to drop off.
Yeah, Little Grand Canyon?
Yeah.
Yeah, that video was crazy. I was like, no way. This is awesome.
It was cool for me for it being the first time. Like, you're used to running dogs, and you're the only person I've ever hunted with dogs because you took me to Drummond.
Yeah.
Drummond. You took me to Drummond. And to see you all work them and stuff is like super cool, especially for someone that's never been around it.
Yeah, that's why I don't shoot half the time, because it's like I'm watching the dogs work, and that's why I like doing it. I'm like, I need a shooter. Somebody shoot for me. Because realistically, if I could just watch a dog work, I'm happy. I mean, I'll shoot a bird every now and then, but I'd rather see the dog point.
Bro, you almost caught a quail with your hand.
I know, that was awesome.
I think you could have.
Yeah. I like, with the way the wind was blowing and the snow came in, that was cool. That was probably one of the coolest things. I was like, quail.
It made me laugh because it was like 40 miles in 3 days, but then on the way back from the hill to the truck is when we got all the birds.
Yeah, because we were covering ground. That first day was insanity. We walked a lot.
I remember when Austin hadn't slept or done anything, and that second night, I think, he was literally almost dead.
Yeah, he was just like, boys, I gotta lay down. And then passed out.
But then he was up at 4 a.m.
Yeah, ready to go. I was like, yeah, see? He was just tired. But we hit it hard. We got there. Sun came up. We were already hunting. Like, we...
Yeah, you all hadn't slept. I was the only one that had slept.
Like, we were getting to the Airbnb, saw the pheasants in the tree, and was like, oh my God, we got to go right now.
Yeah, we saw mule deer, pronghorn, red-tailed hawk.
Yeah, the red-tailed hawk.
What else?
Pheasants, sharp-tail, bobwhite, prairie chicken.
Saw a couple coyotes.
Yeah. Those 3 mule deer, we were in muzzleloader season. We were so underprepared because we could, like, if we had muzzleloaders, we could all take in a mule deer.
Yeah, I think there was like 5 or 6 in that group.
Literally walking through the field. Big up, bro. Bro.
It was the other thing that's funny that we kept saying was the time travel, because we're right there on the
timeline.
The time
that
zone.
Was insane.
So it's between, Central and Mountain.
Yeah.
And it just kept bouncing, and it just kept really confusing us.
It really made it hard to figure out what time we have to be places, because you'd be like, all right, if we leave at this time, we should get there at this time, not realizing you jumped the time zone. So now you're an hour early, and we're like, all right, we might as well take a nap.
Yeah.
Like, take the nap, wake up.
What got you into hunting with dogs? Like, you never really walked me through that. Did you just start randomly? Because you were pretty young, right?
Yeah, so I had always wanted to, just because of videos I've seen, but watching the Outdoor Channel and stuff. So moved to Oklahoma, realized, like I'm in the prairie essentially, So I was like, okay, there's birds here. I didn't know the populations were declining at the time, but in my brain was like, birds are here. I got the space. Time to get a bird dog. And like German shorthair pointers were like on my radar forever since I was younger. So I found the breeder, hit it hard. That first year I was out bird hunting. And I was like hooked ever since.
With those dogs that you bought?
With my first dog, yeah.
Oh.
So he was like ready to go halfway through the season. Because right before the season started, he actually broke his leg messing around with our other dog. So he had like 4 screws and a plate on his left leg.
Before his first hunt? Before
his first season. So he missed dove season. He missed the first split of duck. But that like pheasant and quail in Oklahoma is later on in the year, early into the next year. So like he didn't miss upland season. He missed the first half of waterfowl, which is really light anyway. And I wasn't guiding then, so I was just hitting public land and like looking for birds. And it was just like, if we found 2-3 birds, we were happy. And then you see me now, it's like lines of birds. I'm like, oh. But yeah, we started that year.
So you trained that dog?
I had help from this 73-year-old man in Piedmont. He helped me out, and he was just like, this is what you do. This is how you get him. He was like, your dog honors just naturally. Honors is like...
What was the name of that one?
Orion.
Okay, and that's the one on your head.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, like he honored naturally, which is when another dog is pointing, he'll just stop and point because he sees another dog. So he doesn't like mess the flush up or whatever, what have you. But he did that naturally. He retrieved naturally, like to end. So that was like easy training. It was just getting him to be steady because like he would do the creep and then he'd see it and he'd be like, oh, I want it. So he helped me steady him, like well train him, do all that stuff. And then
how'd you meet the guy in Piedmont? That's who you got the dog from?
No. I don't even remember. I could not tell you. I just remember getting it was just a plain white business card and it said Randall Ratliff. I'll never forget his name, bro. Because I met him and he was so excited to have the dog. And then he was like, I'm 73 years old. The way he was moving, I did not think that man was 73 years old. It was actually, I was very impressed with how he got around at 73. I was like, this is amazing. In shape, just moving. I was like, well, when you think about how long you walk, it all made sense.
Yeah.
But like, he like took him out there, kind of felt him out, see what he needed help with. He pointed naturally. He just didn't hold it. So he'd launch the bird. We'd let him chase the bird. He'll come back when he, just repetition off that. Every time we did something good, we'd release a bird for him. Like he pointed, and before he got to creeping, he would release the bird. So then he would hold it a little bit longer, So then that was kind of cool seeing that. And then, like I said, took him out that year, and he was about 10 months old, 11 months old. So it was like perfect timing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And then when did you start getting more dogs? Right after that?
Bro, that was like an addiction. I need another one. This is so cool.
Because one's enough, but you need multiple.
Bro, I needed one in every color. That was kind of the goal. Because they come in so many colors.
What are the 4 colors you wanted?
No, there's like 9.
Which ones did you want? 9?
I liked the all black, the black brown, the black, like black and white ticked, where it's like the head is solid black, the rest of the body is white, and there's light ticking across it, kind of like a Dalmatian. So it's like there's those. And then there's solid liver roan, liver and white ticked, and then there's patches, and I was just like, I want them all. I need them all.
Yeah, that's crazy because that pack we were with, there was all different colors.
Yeah, a lot of liver. Like Austin's lines are a lot of liver, and then I had a lot of black lines because Orion was black, and then his dad was a black roan too. His mom was a liver roan, so
Black roan is just solid black?
No, that's solid black. Black roan is like, how my dog is like speckled, like Annie?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That color.
Yeah, okay, that's that roan. Or it'd be like, what do they call it in other breeds? I don't even remember. There's like another name for it between the breeds and stuff. Not everybody calls it a roan. Horses call it roan. You could get like a strawberry roan horse or a blue roan horse.
And that's with those specs.
Yeah, and like the skin is more, like the fur is more silver versus white. Because you can have a heavily ticked dog that is not considered roan, is what I learned through like the breed standard and stuff. Like it can be heavy ticking, but like I forget what exactly makes it roan, but I'm pretty sure it's like that almost silver coloring that they get underneath the. Don't quote me on that though. I'm not all knowing, right?
What were the other dogs you started getting? Because you had quite a few.
So Aranda's dog was a Tibetan Mastiff. That was our first dog.
Yeah, that's.
He was crazy. He was about as big as I was.
Sorry.
Leo.
Yeah.
Yeah, Leo was cool. Orion was the second one. They were born like a month apart, so we had them at the same time. Then we had Zuko. I trained him, and then somebody just bought him from me.
Just like how he was doing.
Yeah, he was just like, I'll give you $1,500 for that dog right now. How old is he? He was like a year old. He's like, yeah, I'll give you $1,500. I was like, that's crazy. And at the time, I was thinking, you know, this is me practicing training because my buddy was like, you should just train dogs. And I was like, okay, cool. You know, I'm going to start working on that. And the dude was like, does he have any title passes? I'm like, no. He's like, yeah, I'll give you $1,500. That's like started. He's not finished. Boom. So like, oh, okay. Yeah. Went and got another dog. I still have that one. That was Chief.
We got Chief to hunt with.
Yeah, we got Chief for Landon. And
he was white.
White and liver. Yeah, he was
so liver is the
amazing bloodlines. So it was like
that's the first time I ever went with a dog before. It was crazy.
Yeah, he was a horse. He was a machine. He ran big. He didn't care. He would cut himself up, keep going.
I saw him bleeding, and you're like, no, he's good. And he was just like ready to go.
Yeah, just from hitting the grass, like the frozen grass in the morning, it'll rub him raw, and you just put like chafing stuff on it, and they don't even care, bro. You seen him? Like
I was shocked.
And Orion, when he was a puppy, he gave me so much anxiety because he would run through barbed wire. He didn't care, and I was like, this dog is going to get injured. So I started keeping a first aid kit in the car, the dog first aid kit. And I've had to suture him, staple him right there in the field because he went through some barbed wire, tore his skin. I'm like, brother, what are you doing?
It's crazy what they'll do. It's not the same thing, but we were at Hefner one day when it was empty.
Yeah.
On the south side by the golf course.
Yeah.
And Forrest took off running and he fell in a pile of rocks. And I was like, thinking he was dead. And I walk over there and he's like split on one of his hands.
It's crazy. And they don't care.
He was just like, I'm like, bro, what?
Wild. Yeah. I'm just like, y'all need to relax. And still wanted to go, I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw Chief do it. I mean, but when you started training all those dogs at the same time, are you just training yours and hunting, or are you training other people's too? Like, what are you doing?
I've trained a couple other people's before, but trying to do it out of my normal size house was kind of hard. So I was only taking one or two at a time. It worked out pretty well. And then the military happened. I got deployed. I stopped training.
So you were here before you got deployed?
Yeah, I got here in 2011 and I got deployed in 2015.
Damn.
So like 2012 to 2015, I was hunting heavy, bro, every single weekend type deal. So it was like I was just driving to Oklahoma, looking at the public land, trying to figure stuff out, and I was just kind of winging it. And it was cool. It was fun. I got to see most of Oklahoma. That's when I was like, yeah, I really like Oklahoma. So that was like a net positive. But then like...
So that's when you went to the military, 2015.
Well, I was in the military, but 2015 I deployed. So like training stopped, running dogs stopped. I even stopped hunting completely. That whole 2015, 2016. Then I got back into it because I got out of the military in 2016, September. I missed that hunting season because we took that time after we got out to hang out with the kids and just travel. So we were like running around, going to like places we saw at diners, drive-ins and dives and stuff. And
cool.
So that was cool. And then when we came back to the gym in the beginning of 2017 was kind of when I started hunting again, because the outfitter service I was working with, they were like, hey, bro, are you still around? Do you want to hunt? Like, come on.
It wasn't those same guys that I went with?
Yeah, it was them. Yeah. Well, it wasn't them at the time. It was a different group of guys. So I did that again, started doing that again for a couple of years, and then went on a hunting hiatus from 2019 to 2020. And then went back to it in 2021. So
that's when me and you started hunting, 2021.
Yes. Yeah, right around then. And that's when we were like turkey hunting, whatever else.
Yeah, we've done like 5 or 6 different things. Just random. You're like, hey, do you want to hunt this today? I'm like,
yep,
sure. We don't see nothing. We're like, cool.
But that's what it was for those.
And I would have got that bird my first time ever hunting with you. And that was my first time ever bird hunting. But remember the gun
safety?
jammed.
Yeah, no, it was jammed because I thought it was on safety and you clicked.
No, I shot, remember? Because as soon as you said bird, I shot. And you're like, okay, well, aim. But because I was expecting to be able to boom, boom, boom. Like I was trying to find it.
Yeah.
But
it didn't cycle.
Well, in the shotgun, you're supposed to have that plug.
Yeah.
It had a plug, but the plug was a arrow shaft just in there for like looks.
Right.
And not looks, but like.
It was functional.
It was functional,
you got
but they weren't hunting
with
it. And I remember that moment because I pulled it up and just boom. You're like, well, wait a second. Because I was so close.
Yeah. And it was pretty close. Well, I was like, bird. And you.
I just remember you saying, because I'm walking with that gun. I'm the only one with the shotgun.
Yeah.
You're scouting. Shaq's just there happy.
Yeah. He's like, yo, this is crazy.
It was so fun with that day, us three. But I remember walking with the gun, and then you said bird, and I was just like, don't shoot the dog. And I went just high enough and pulled it, and then it jammed up.
I was like, damn. Yeah,
it's been fun to learn
that
with you
one
too.
You would have hit that one. I was right there. That was smooth.
It's cool that you had all those years, and then when you went to restart, you got to kind of show me the ropes.
Yeah,
you've been able to be like, this is how we turkey hunt, and we almost got one then.
Every single time, though. Yeah, close. We were. I mean, I called that one in, and then it just went across the street.
I remember we were in Chandler when we did that at a client's house of mine, and you're like, there it is, and I see the head and the beard or the. What's that? The
gobble.
The meat. And I remember seeing it and you're calling it in and then it just went the other way. But we've always been right there. Even when we went deer hunting in Gary.
Oh, yeah. That was, yeah. That's funny.
We're taking the bow and the shotgun because I think it was 2 seasons or something. Like deer and something else, some type of bird that we wanted.
Yeah.
But it's been a journey. And it has been a cool aspect of our relationship since we do so much.
Yeah.
Like, we've done the jiu-jitsu, or you've come to the gym to climb, or we hang out at the house, we play pool, you dog sit, like all these things we do together. The hunting has been like a cool way to learn each other too.
Yeah, because that's a whole different ballgame. You're not indoors. It's you're outside and you're like, we got to make this work. How are we going to make this work? And then we just go. And that's why I like hunting, because you got to think on your feet sometimes. Like, everything doesn't always go as planned, but you have to prepare for it. You know what I mean? So that's like an underrated aspect of being able to go out and do that.
And just the separation from like your normal grind and like really grinding in something else. Like we felt pretty accomplished, me, you, and Austin walking around and like just scouting.
Yeah.
And you're not thinking of like bills and all the other stuff. You're really like
outside
in hunt mode.
And literally dialed in like, we got to find this.
And we were in a place we'd never been, none of us.
Yeah. That was what was cool, because like we really went out there with just internet scouting and pretty decent, Airbnb, a pretty decent knowledge of what we were doing. But we had hella dogs. When all said and done, we had hella dogs.
Those dogs worked.
We were able to cycle them out, give them a rest, water them up, put them away.
If anything, we were the ones needing a break.
Oh, 100%. They were
another 4, another 4.
Yeah, it was crazy. Watching Cricket jump into that pile, bro.
Oh my gosh. For the listeners, Cricket is a little Cocker Spaniel.
Yeah.
Correct me, but the GSPs, they
point.
They point, and then those flushers are those Cocker Spaniels, and they just jump in.
Up. Yeah.
So Austin goes, bird in there. And this Cocker Spaniel just dives in a big-ass hole of sticks. And then Austin was like, oh, shit, I think he might be... And then he just comes out the other side.
Yeah, like, how did you get out of that brush? That was crazy. But he took off. Like Airbud, gone.
And it's crazy because he's pretty small, and I remember him almost jumping in my hands.
Yeah, and it was like a solid little jump too, and he landed, took off into the brush, was like bird, and it popped out the other side like there's nothing in there. You lied to me.
Yeah, and
he was like so betrayed. He was like, you lied.
One of my favorite moments there was when we were sitting on that hill that one day, and that's like day 3
because we're all tired.
We're all tired, and we're sitting there, and we take the little like 15-minute day nap, just laying on the hill, and we're all laying with dogs.
The fig bar.
Oh yeah, so we sat there with the fig bar, then took the nap, and that was the part I was getting to. Is like having that really nice fig bar was like a disc, and then breaking it amongst us, and then just eating that, and taking the dogs drinking water, and
it's just like passed out. All the dogs around us.
Are we living off the land?
I was like, is this real life?
Well, remember when we were about to call it is when we got to the truck, and then Mike pulled up, the guy that owned the land.
Yeah, and he was like, what are you looking for? We're like, he's like, oh, yeah, just go around here, go there, and they're right back there.
And that's where we got 3 of them, or 2 of them.
Yeah, I was like, he was not kidding, because we came up on that hill, and then just like the internet said, that late in the season, they're all bunched up in groups of like 20 or more. So you kind of got to be careful. We come over that hill, and like 30 of them take off, and we're like, well, we found them. Cut back around, and that's when the dog found it and was like...
It was funny because since we had missed a couple, me and you, what was his name? Not Chief, the white one though.
Co.
Co.
Yeah.
he pointed like so serious, and Austin was not playing. It's like since he saw me miss like two, as soon as that bird hopped up, he was just like, boom. And then he's like, I'm sorry, I shot it so fast. We're like, bro, no.
That's what we're here for. Like, what? Then Katie went and grabbed it. Oh, that was awesome. That was cool.
It's been interesting along the way with the shit we've got into.
Yeah, because we go, which is crazy. It's just like,
I remember when you took me goose hunting with all those Cajuns, and you were like, hey, you got to be there at 4:30. And I was like, what the fuck? And I show up, and we put all the blind together, and then we hunted, and there was probably 16 or 17 Cajun dudes from Louisiana.
yeah, that was a big group too. Normally the groups aren't,
That was
too
massive.
big. But like we say, like 8 or more, you get a private hunt essentially, because then the party is there. It's eight guys, and then you're 2 to 3 guides. So it's like you get parties that big. You got to whip out the A-frame. You got to find a proper hide. Then you got to make sure the A-frame is all brushed in. I mean, you got to be a part of that. So that was
terrible.
That it was. I mean, that's like, and that's what I do. I'm there to set the blinds, brush them in, make sure the birds don't see us. And then you get there and you're like, wait, we got to do all this before the sun comes up? I'm like, yeah, bro.
I just had a
It goes fast, bro. Like it goes fast. Just put them in the loops. Brush it in.
What was wild is when you were like, wait till they come in, and we're sitting there, and then it's like these clouds of geese, just like circling like a tornado. Yeah.
There's nothing like it. So I tell people. And then duck hunts like that, I shoot on those hunts. I love hunting ducks.
Why?
It's just a different game. Like the geese are cool. I don't normally eat geese, and like when I do shoot geese,
I know you dropped 17 in my garage. I think I've told this on the story. I mean, on the pod a lot. But you text me and was like, hey, you want some geese? And I was like, yeah. And then I come home and I open my garage door and there's a pile of 17 of them. I spent like 3 hours getting birds.
I was like, you said you wanted geese. That's 2 limits. And they all legally transferred them to me. So
it was just funny like, showing up and seeing that. Yeah. Because like.
That's a lot of bodies, bro. Yeah. And then there was some ducks in there. He was like, I want a duck.
There was like 3 ducks.
Yeah. I was like, all right, bro, I got you. Say less.
Oh, it's just like those pheasant feathers you got from me behind you.
But it's crazy because like a lot of the out-of-state clients, they'll just be like, they'll either cook it right after they kill it if there's like a decent amount, and some will like dress them and package them up and keep them in their cooler like if they drove and stuff. But like the clients that fly in and stuff, they're just like, we don't want them. And I'm like, you shot all those birds, you're not gonna take them? Like you want us to dress you? Because we'll do like $8 a bird, and because it's a pain, And then some
especially if you
pay
have skin on.
Yeah, and then some people pay it. Some people are like, no, I don't even want them. So I'm like, I'm not gonna let it go to waste. So I'll take it home, grind it up. That's dog food, 100%. And like,
I did a lot of
dogs love it. You know what I mean? So it's like that's perfect. Realistically, that's why I don't shoot geese, because then I don't eat them. But ducks, like we're going back to what we were talking about. That's a whole different ball game. You hunt them in like, if you get widgeon in a wheat field, they whistle. They don't even quack. So you just hear, and they're small and fast, and they'll just rip, and it sounds like an airplane. Yes, sir. And then they whistle like. So it's crazy. They see them, and then they come around, and widgeon in a wheat field. Little missiles, bro.
How do you gotta aim ahead of them or what?
Well, they'll all come in, brakes on.
Oh, you're just shooting it,
and then you hit them as they're hitting the spinners. But
why do you have to be in the water for a lot of ducks? Just because that's where they live?
You don't have to be.
Oh.
A lot of people, like, that's what they have access to. Not everybody has access to like acres and acres of like farmland where the ducks are eating milo or peanuts or corn or whatever. So like you'll find a little honey hole, a little farm pond, and you can hunt them there. But we do a lot more dry hunts. That's why I enjoyed that more, because I don't have to get in the water.
Yeah, and your dog's not soaking wet.
Yeah, they don't even, that's what's crazy about watching a dog work, because I've had times where my dog is ripping it like Orion. He's just sitting on the bank with me, and he's watching, and he's like vigilant. And I'm just eating my little Debbie or something, and he's like, and then I hear him whining. He sees the birds before I see the birds, and he's just like, I'm locked in. And then I'm just like, you're not cold, bro. And it's like the frost is on him from swimming in the water. I'm like, you good? And he's just like ready to go. That bird hits the water, he's gone. He's ready to go. I've seen him jump through. Like, we never hunted more than like knee, maybe waist high at the most. So he'd just be jumping through the water and the ice. There's no running current, so we're not worried about it. And he just grabs that duck, comes back happy as hell, shakes off, sits down next to me. He's got his little
Bet.
neoprene vest on. I'm like, bro, you're crazy. What's on like?
Take me to the deer hunting this last year because you just got back into deer hunting and you, Aranda, and the kids all got one. What was that like?
I couldn't even tell you because I mean, I've shot, my fair share of deer, and it's all been like on private land for the most part. Being able to take them out was crazy because I remember they were 3 or 4 the first time we took them out, and then 13 when they got their first deer, and then they were just ready to go. They're like, "Can we hunt this year?" Like, what's up? I was like, "Yeah, we can try. Let's go do it. What do y'all want to do?" Like, deer hunt. My buddy had been Trey. He'd been trying to get me out there to help manage his doe herd because the doe herd is huge. And he's like, "Bro, I need you to come out here, bring your wife out here, bring the kids out here. Y'all can fill your tags. You each get, however so and so deer." And I'm like, "You really want?" He's like, "If you shoot that much, yes, please. We can dress them at the house. Like, I have everything you need to make that happen. Like, we can go if we have to blood trail them. It's all our land, so like we can spend as much time as we want." And then, like, I hadn't taken him serious for a couple of years because I'm like, man, we don't have the freezer space. I'm like heavy with the birds. And then Landon got into fishing, so we were like fishing and stuff. But once they were like, "Let's go deer hunting," I was like, perfect. It's gun season. Trey's been telling me to bring y'all. So I was excited. And then they were super juiced up about it. I had to get them new boots, new camo. They're like, "We want the overall so we can put our hands in, keep them warm." So I was like, all right, cool. Like, they had everything picked out. So we got them their stuff. And then we took them out there. And it was kind of crazy because Trey's like, at this time, you're going to see them coming from here, here, here. So we're sitting there, we're just BSing, and they're like looking around trying to see if they'll see it. And it's crazy because you're in this blind.
Was it real tall?
Yeah, it was like 15, 20 feet off the ground. And you're in the blind, and then there's this wheat field with the feeder, and there's another like patch of wheat where basically you see the deer trail coming off, like they jump over the fence and come onto the land and hit the feeder. So you see the path. Then right on the other side of the blind, you have another path that you can see through the trees that they use to then jump the fence and get to the feeder. So the deer are there. And then when he dropped us off, we 8 Point went jumping off, and then there was like 2 other does that ran with it. So we were like, okay, deer are here. And that was at 1:30 in the afternoon. So I was like, he's like,
you got
"I'll
him
be
there
back
early. That's
yeah."
cool.
So like we got out there. He's like, "So around this time, you're going to see him come from here." No lie. At that time, Mackenzie's like, "Dad, there's a deer coming." And it was coming from by the trees. So like where we saw them jump off and stuff. So I was like, "Oh, this is perfect." I was like, "Look, you remember where he said to shoot?" She was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Slow down. There's no rush. Wait till it quarters so you have a clean shot of what you need, and then take it when you feel confident." She's like, "Okay." Then you hear her just steady up. She's like, and you could tell she's like, "Oh my God, this is gonna happen." But she's like, and you can hear the shakiness in her breath, but she's like trying to calm herself down. And then it's just, the deer drops, like kind of falls over immediately. You can still see it's alive because then it picks his head up, but she hit it right behind the shoulders where the leg is broken. And it's a good shot, like hit the vitals, and then you see it kind of, and then lay out. So she was like pumped after that. She was like, "Oh my God, I got it." She was like screaming, blah, blah, blah. I was like, all right, Landon's next, so we got to be quiet. Everybody calms down. We leave it there. We watch it drop so we know it didn't go anywhere. Literally 15, 20 minutes later, down another trail that Trey was like, at this time, they're going to be coming from, this way.
You can keep going. I'm listening.
And we're sitting there and we're watching it.
You're talking about dogs, so we got them crying.
No, so now they're coming down this trail and we're like, okay, cool. They're walking right to the feeder. We're going to get a shot.
And that's after you already just shot one.
We already shot one. And this is like 30 minutes after that. And then there's still like an hour and 20 minutes of shooting light. So I'm like, okay, cool. Bro, these deer take forever to walk this trail. I'm talking, we're seeing them, but they're walking towards us, so we don't have the shot we want. And there's like 6 of them.
Damn.
Yeah. And then, so they're coming on this trail, taking their sweet time. And then we see like 4 more jump out way behind them. That's more than I wanted Landon to take on his first shot. Could we have hit it with the 308? Absolutely. But I was just like, you know what? They're coming to the feeder. We have time. We'll wait. You know what I mean? So now we have like 40 minutes of legal light left, and they finally jump the fence into the wheat. And they start pulling up to the feeder perfectly. Those other ones are now like way out in the field, but there's like 8 of them back there.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, these are all does. He was not kidding because herd is huge. And then you see coming off the salt flats, there's a trail. They jump the fence because the land that he owns is right off the Great Salt, like the Salt Plains Refuge. So after they jump the fence, they're on our property. So they feel safe. So they come over, you see them walking, and they're like, okay, we have those if we need them. They're coming this way. Mm-hmm. And then one hit the feeder, and Landon's like, all right. Mackenzie's in the back, like, calm down, Landon. It's cool. Just breathe. It's cool. Just breathe. Take it when you. I don't even have to coach this time. Mackenzie's got it. She shot her first deer. She knows. So she's like calming her brother down, and you got the video of him, and it's at the feeder, and he gets the shot, and he's just hearing him calm himself down, and then poof, the deer does a front flip.
I remember seeing it.
Moves, and then lays out. And I'm like, and it's, 15 yards in front of us. It was a beautiful shot. It bleeds out right there. The deer then, like, they scatter. And then they stop and start turning back. Like, maybe we're tripping, I guess. And they start coming back to the feeder. But the one that I shot at that same time, he takes off. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, no, stay. Like, the closest one. I'm like, no, stay. So I just go, whap. And I kind of like bleed at it. And she stopped and looked. And I was like, perfect. Boom. Dropped her dead. I was like, no way. We just went 3 for 3. The kids were like, we just went 3 for 3. I was like, yo, you can't write this. This is amazing. So they run down and I'm like, yours is dead. We get to Kenzie's. We make sure it's dead. It's still there. We walk over to Landon's. At that point, it had drug itself damn near to the blind, trying to get under the fence. So that was there. And I was like, that one's dead. So me and him walk out to mine, which is probably like maybe 80 yards. And then that one's dead. So he's like, do we have to drag this? I was like, we can. You want to? And he's like, yeah. And then we each grab a leg and we're dragging it back. He's like, this is heavy. You and mom did this by yourself? And I was like, yeah, and it was a buck. And he was like, oh yeah, that's crazy. So then they were like juiced up. They were like cloud 9. They would call Trey. Trey's like, did you hit 3? I was like, yeah. He goes, should have called you for population management years ago. And I'm like, yeah, that's crazy. I went 3 for 3. So then getting back to, like, Trey pulls up, loads them all into his truck, takes the picture. And then we leave, we take it to his house. He puts it up on his, like, excavator. Mm-hmm. And he shows Mackenzie how we skin it, how you remove the thing. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, yeah, and I'm doing the other side as he's teaching her one side. And then he's like, there's a way where you can actually, just quarter it, and that's when we got into it, and then not have to gut it at all. And then on the second deer, we showed her that, and she was like all in it. And Landon's just like, this is crazy. This is a lot for me. I just want to shoot him. Y'all can deal with the rest. And then, so me and her are sitting there, we're doing the other ones. And then on that one too, we were able to quarter it, get the back shops out. And then without gutting it, I was able to get my hand back and get the fish fillets on the inside. So I was able to get those without having to like cut more than I had to, so that was sick. And then the third one, I did a pretty good job at blowing out the chest with the 308.
Yeah, that's the one you didn't have.
Yeah, and I was just like, well, that's a lot of destroyed meat. I was like, damn.
How was it though, like watching your kids get ready and then execute?
It was crazy. I was like, I wanted to cry. I was sitting there like, y'all gonna make me cry right now.
And they're probably laughing because they're so into it that they're like, it's okay if you need to cry.
Yeah, they're like, it's cool, Dad. We're excited too. So it's like, bro, I just couldn't believe it because we've been talking it up all week. Like, this is what's going to happen. And then it goes and happens. It's like, there's no better feeling. We did it. You know what I mean? We went 100%, 3 for 3. We could have had 4 because each of them, we can take a ton of deer in Oklahoma. It's actually crazy. It has 6 total.
It's so many.
Yeah, it's insane. So we were like, Trey's like, shoot more. We still have light. Because he called, after we hit the third one. He's like, did you get another one? I'm like, yes. He's like, take more. And I'm like, I'm good. Because, you saw we threw it into the back of the Nissan and brought him here. And you're like, oh, y'all shot deer.
And we looked like an episode of Dexter in my garage. I took the punching bag down and we just strung them up.
Yeah, strung up the bodies with the tarp underneath. Like, people walking by would be like, what is happening?
Yeah, if it would have been daytime with it open, it would have looked reckless.
Crazy.
What was it like taking a rando back to get one?
That was cool too, because we had went out years ago on Christmas.
I remember that.
And we had gotten like stuck in the mud. We ended up shooting that one unicorn buck, which we got Euro mounted because the story was crazy. But like getting her to finally take a shot, whereas it wasn't just me shooting and she's hanging out, that was cool because she was like ready to go. And it was an instant kill shot. Like that is, and we got it on video, but that was like one of my favorite moments was because I took her bird hunting for the first time and she smokes a quail from deep. I was like, what? Even it was a guided hunt that we had taken that time. It was me, her, and my buddy. We were in the military at the time. And then the guide and his 2 dogs. And this bird is flying out. And she's like, smokes it. Even the guide was like, bro, what? You shot that? And so I was like, cool. And we always joke like she's got a shot. I don't have to worry about anything. And then she goes out there and just executes, just like the kid. I'm like, it's going to quarter. This is exactly the same way Mackenzie's deer came down. As soon as it hits the quarter and you have a broadside shot, take it. Take your time, breathe. There's absolutely no rush. And this was at like 3:30 in the afternoon.
Damn,
so like
sunny.
We hadn't like time to kill at that point. And just like Mackenzie's, it came in early, quarter, and boom. And then it jumps up and then falls over. Kill shot.
Do you see a difference in them like preparing for the shot or like, because the kids were like,
no, all 3 of them.
Yeah.
Just calm down. Because Mackenzie was with us when I ran the shot too, because she was like, I want to go out again. I'll get 2 more. I'm like, what's up? And then she actually didn't end up getting to shoot that time, but I shot and I ran the shot. The shot that I had was a little bit harder because it was kind of going away, but I was able to get it right behind the shoulders and it dropped. That's the other one that I blew out the chest. But yeah, Mackenzie was just like, dang, I wish we had 15 more minutes. I was like, yeah, you see how many are out there? You would have definitely got one. But
that's crazy. Your whole family got them.
Yeah, at 5 for 5 this year, bro. We gave so much people meat, bro.
Yeah, I mean, you gave me almost a full deer.
Yeah, and it was just like cool. We have ours. Being able to just hand it out was sick.
It was wild too when you came back a week later because we were kind of dry aging that meat.
Yeah,
and then you came back with the kids, and then we broke it all down. Yeah, they were just like, "This is what it is." Yeah. I remember you were surprised at how much. I mean, even me too. But we opened that ice chest, and you're like, "What's left?" And I was like, "Yeah, bro, that whole ice chest." And it was like the long one. You're like, "Well, let's fill your freezer." And then I remember packing it to the top and shutting it. And you're like, "All right, I think you're good." And I'm like, "That's crazy."
Yeah, it was a lot, bro. Because I didn't like. In theory, when you think we brought home roughly 2.5 deer, that's a lot of meat. And
once you break down,
when you're seeing it and processing it yourself,
I'm like, that's 14 roasts. Or...
Literally, it was like that's 14 roasts and like 40 pounds of hamburger.
Yeah,
it's like, it was actually crazy to see because the kid was like, "There's some more." Then you pull out another quarter and breaking it down, and it's like pull out another quarter, then you pull out a neck, then you pull out the front quarters, and then the loins are the loins. So they're like
some of those backstraps were like those were some fat does,
bro. And they eat protein feed. He feeds them good, and you can tell. I mean, there was so much meat on those deer. It was actually insane. Like I checked for nuts when I shot those does because like I didn't know if the antlers were so falling off, and I was just like,
one of them I remember getting the heart out of one of them, and it was like almost like a roast,
bro, massive.
Which usually those hearts are pretty small.
Yeah, and that one was huge. We had the one that ran the shot was the biggest one out of all our deer, and that one was like a mom because she was still like lactating. Damn. When we were gutting her, like I was like, oh, there's like milk running. She's like, oh, you shot a mom. I was like, oh.
Yeah, it made me feel like crap.
Like, don't tell me that. He was like, considering where it came from, I think your daughter shot the baby.
This is not helping.
No, I was like, dang. So it was a yearling. He was like, it was the smallest one. I mean, yeah, probably it was born the year before, and this was like the first year or whatever. And I was like, dang, that makes sense because she came right back the same pattern. The way I was like, whoops. Took out a whole family.
5 of them.
My bad.
Mom, cousin. What's it been like since they're like 13 now, right?
Yeah. About to be 14.
About to be 14. And like, I know we've talked about all the stuff with the soccer that your daughter has done. But it seems recent that Landon's like really locked into the wrestling, and that was one of your passions. What's that been like?
Well, yeah, this was his first year wrestling open. So he'd done well in novice his like first year wrestling. So his first season, he just trained. He didn't really compete much. We just wanted him to like develop a love for just training because it's hard. I mean, wrestling practice is.
You don't have to tell.
I mean, kids are crying and they're still.
I'm surprised I wasn't crying. It's fucking terrible.
So like, just let him get through that and like get on his feet. That was the first year. Then when he started doing competitions was his second season. He did novice. He placed second at state at both USA Wrestling and OKWA. His first year in novice, like, and he did well. He, you know, the medals are cool. I don't care for the medals because then it's like at such a young age, it's like, do you know what you're doing, or are you just getting lucky in your bracket, stuff like that. Some of these kids in Oklahoma hammers. That's not what I'm saying, but like he started late versus everybody else. So I didn't want him to let the medals get to his head. So for me, it was never, you know, get on the podium. It was go out there and make it hard. You're the better wrestler every time you step on the mat. That's what you have to think. And he was like, okay. And that's kind of what I was trying to develop, just that grit and the confidence in knowing like I'm good, you know. And his coaches do an excellent job at building them up. They know when to, you know, raise their voice or crack a joke, you know. So it was cool letting them do their thing. And that's kind of what I enjoy about wrestling is all his coaches, I have 100% confidence in them. So I don't have to be dad coach because I see a lot of those, or dad just kind of living through their kid. And it's like, you're embarrassing yourself, dude. Like these high level wrestlers that are coaching don't even act like that. And they have sons. Like you need to like throttle down. And then being so close with his coach and having those conversations, he's like, yeah, you know what I mean? Landon's fine. He's doing exactly how he's putting it together. So this year, his third season, this is his third full season again, did open. He's the bottom of the 15U bracket because he's 13. He's 86 pounds. Well, he started at 86 pounds. So there's not many people in that division at 15U. You know what I mean? Those kids are hitting puberty and they're getting bigger. So like he wrestled up all year, 92 to 96, because 92 and 96 a lot of the times would be combined. There's nobody in 86. So he'd end up in the 92, 96. So he learned a lot this year, safe to say. And that's why I was like, bro, you need to think you're the better wrestler. I don't care if these kids have 10 pounds on you. You're flexible, you're fast, outmaneuver them, out-time them, use your angles. You got happy feet, bro. Dance around, make it hard. Don't quit. I don't care if you lose, but you don't quit and you don't get emotional on the mat. You can cry if you lose, but handle it off the mat. You shake the kid's hand, you shake the other coach's hand, you listen to your coaches, and then if you need to like let it out, come let it out. And nobody's gonna say anything. Like it's frustrating to lose, you know. But we used the early seasons to just build that instead of like go out there and win. So now he's going out there and he's performing. Like every single time he goes out, he makes it hard. There's no quitting him. He's always like, that kid was tired. I could have won that. You know what I mean? Like when he does lose, he's like, he's mad at himself. So I don't have to like be on his ass and be a coach because his coach is already like, you did good. You did this. You did this. Let's work on this week. Let's work on his, like I said, coaches, amazing. And they always kind of, because he gets nervous before every match. I told him that's normal. And sometimes you can see him like, he's like fidgeting and then his coaches will come crack a joke. And then he laughs and you can see it just kind of it relax him. So shout out to the coaches like Cole, Miller, Brandon, and Coach Brown. He loves Coach Brown. And Coach Brown was actually Brandon's coach. So it's one of those things where it's like, Brandon always said like, Coach Brown's a hard ass, like he's mean, you know. And so a lot of people are like, you know, beware of Coach Brown, but Landon loves Coach Brown. He's also a Cubs fan, and Landon randomly is a Chicago Cubs fan. So I don't know how or when that happened, but like we were watching baseball this year and the bro just loves the Cubs. And I was like, all right, bro, you know, you have free will. Cubs it is.
So it's crazy though with the coaching, like making sure you're not the dad that's putting all that pressure. Because I have noticed that even when you're like filming them and stuff, you're so contained. That's so much awareness though.
It's hard because like, you know, I wrestled, so I want to say stuff, but I'm like, what if I'm telling him the opposite of what his coaches are telling him? Then I'm an idiot. Because why would I try coaching when I'm paying these men to coach my kid? And like, you know, Brandon, he's an accomplished wrestler. So like that's just ignorant thinking that I know more than Brandon. You know what I mean?
Just because you did it.
He's competed at the highest level. I've competed. You know what I mean? So for me, it was just like, that was a relief that I didn't have to be like dad coach, because there's so much knowledge in that building, and they all coach differently. So the kids get different looks. You know what I mean? And that's what makes me feel comfortable. So I don't have to say anything, because I know. And like, sometimes you'll hear me in the videos like, oh, the leg is there. You know, like
You're still
like,
in it.
Yeah, but it was hard at first, but like, just because as a dad, you should like, pay attention, bro. It's right there. I know your coaches are telling you this, but just watching him kind of figure it out on his own, and like, he's not he don't got a mean bone in his body. So the fact that he enjoys wrestling so much is crazy, because it's like aggression. It's like foot on the gas, go. And he's just like loosey goosey, always a joke, always. And for him, I guess that's his outlet of taking out whatever frustration and anger he has, because he goes out there and he wrestles and he looks good.
Yeah, and he's focused.
Yeah, he's locked in. And like this past season, he went to regionals, placed, qualified for state, first year open. I mean, I don't even know what he would be considered at that with the bracket, but he did well, went out, wrestled his ass off. And we were like, he's putting it together. That was what, like, watching his videos, because he likes, after his match, he's like, can we watch it? Because he knows I record every match. He's like, can we watch it? I was like, already? He's like, yeah. And he'll sit next to me and we'll sit. He's like, ugh. You could see he's like critiquing himself. I'm like, bro, don't be so hard on yourself. You like, and most of his matches, they're either really close or the kid is an absolute hammer and we'll tech him. He's been pinned twice in 3 full seasons.
Wow. Because
he's bendy. He'll get up on the bridge on his head and that's it. And then he was rolling with Josh the other day, and he went in for Josh, snatch singled him and he hit a split. And Josh is holding his leg still. And as he's in the split, he does a backflip and gets in on Josh's leg. And then Josh tries to scramble away and he's back on Josh's leg. And I'm just like, bro, see this? Just randomly athletic. I'm like, get creative. And Brandon always tells him, like, your technique, beautiful. I need chaos. So now he's learning to add that chaos and that aggression and like the jab steps and like moving around and like really feeling and creating his style. So that was cool to see this year. And it's only his first year open.
That's so cool.
He's already gained 4 pounds because he's like 2 bananas a day. So he's been putting down bananas and he's drinking protein and he's like locked in. He's just like, I was like, I figure you'd be like 92, by the spring. And right now he's 90. So he's like, he's beefing up. And then Greco and freestyle about to start, which he likes that, but he doesn't care to compete in it. That's where there's more throws and stuff. But like, he loves the practices. So I think this year he said he's going to try and compete more. So that'll be cool to see.
I feel like all your stories you've told me about like your family and then your parents, you had like really good examples. Yeah. Does that make it easier or like help tailor how you father a little man? Because I feel like you do so good with both your children, but you're raising a little man, so you have to teach them all these things.
All kinds of stuff. And I mean, I don't know. My dad was just, work hard, instilled the work ethic, and was just like, execute.
Like lacking in the emotion side, or?
Right. So like, I'm trying to find that balance of like, how can I connect without overstepping or overcorrecting? Because they're still little people. And that's how I've always treated them, as little people. Like, I haven't had to I've swatted their hand or, give them a quick swat on the butt, but I didn't have to beat them like I got beat. Because, I mean, I deserved every ass whooping, but like being able to actually connect with them and be like, bro, come on. And then they're like, you're right. And then my kids are terrible liars. So now they don't lie anymore because they know we know. And like when Landon does something like, did you do this? Before he even lies, he just goes, yeah.
Not my proudest moment.
It was like, damn, I'm not even gonna lie about this. So it's like, yeah, my dad taught me how to make sure like you work hard, you don't expect anything, blah, blah, blah. But now like I'm able to raise him that same way, but also kind of connect with him more. Me and my dad are tight now.
Yeah.
And, as adults, it just happens that way. Like as a kid, you think and you think and then eventually like, I don't know anything. Good Lord. Then you're like, maybe I should ask. And then you go through that cycle. So it's like, that's where we're at. I talk to my mom and dad every day now. Like we shoot texts to one another, blah, blah, blah. and the group chat is pretty active with the fam, so that's pretty tight. But as far as like raising him, bro, like I try to instill common sense, and then they run with it. Like and then they get home from hanging out with kids their age, and they're like, "Oh, we get it, dude, we get it." Like when they go to the church youth group, they're like, "Man, they don't listen. They don't listen at all." And I'm like, "You see, people try to talk over you. They don't, they reply instead of like actually understanding." They're like, "Yeah, it's kind of crazy, a little frustrating." I'm like, so it's like dealing with y'all sometimes. They're like, "I'm so sorry." Like, they're hilarious. So now it's like they're at that age where they're like, man, they're not as pompous as I was because they actually like get it. Like, we don't know what we don't know. So like, we're not going to pretend and have this, I'm not going to lie to you because I want to be like Mr. Know-It-All. Whereas so, like, when I was that age, I thought I knew everything. You know what I mean? So like, it's been cool to be able to watch them develop that. And then being able to just be a dad and like handle that while Aranda handles like, she lets me be a dad, if that makes sense. Like if I have to correct them and I have to be stern, she doesn't interrupt. She doesn't, blah, blah, blah. She lets me be stern dad, like good cop, bad cop. And then she'll go in maybe 30, 45 minutes. Like, do you understand what just happened? And then if they say like no or yes or whatever, she'll like break it down and like, you did this. And that, made this happen. So if you would have done this differently, what do you think the outcome would have been? And she makes them think. Like, she can articulate better. And I'm just like, you knew you were supposed to do that. This is a problem. Boom, boom, boom. And then
it's like when you told me about that piece falling off the counter.
Yeah.
Like, hey, fix that.
Yeah, like, bro, you know what I mean? So with that, being able to have that role where I can be stern and not worry about, like I said, overcorrecting to where it breaks their confidence or like their free will. They're like, man, if I do this again, dad's going to think I'm dumb, or you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to make them think that they're not smart. So I don't belittle. I'm just really, like I said, stern or forceful in what adamant. I'm adamant in how I approach it. And then Aranda goes in and makes sure they understand what just happened. So it's not like dad's attacking me. Mm-hmm. She helps them see the cause and effect of the situation. And that's why I feel like they're more in tune with their decisions now. Because they're like, I could do this. I have free will. I can. But is it worth the consequence? And then they weigh the risk versus reward. And that's kind of, because as a kid, I was just like, my parents said, no, I'm going to do it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it's like, I didn't want that mentality, Mm-hmm. So I kind of just help them to think more before they do stuff. Because my pops always told me, think before you do stuff. Like, what? You know what I mean? So I'm like, I didn't think at all. He was right. I probably should have thought about that more. Probably wouldn't have made the decision I did and ended up in the situation. So like, I took my own failures essentially and kind of used that to teach them. Because like, don't make the same mistakes I did. I have a cheat code right now. I need y'all to understand that I have the answers to the test. Let me give them to you and just remember them. But it's like, they're like, mom and dad don't know what they're talking about. You know what I mean? Until they see it firsthand and they're like, oh yeah, you're right. So I'm trying to get them to see that early. Like, there's a cause and effect for everything. There's a consequence for every action. And I mean, you've had conversations with them.
Yeah, I got lucky enough to watch Kinsey play and Aranda's coaching. And then Landon was just there by himself because you were working. And I'm just sitting with Landon. We're watching the game. But then we forgot to watch the game because we were just talking. And then I remember him telling Aranda, like, this is actually really cool. And I was like, that's so cool to connect with him. Because I've always talked to kids, like grown-ups, because I felt like that's how I was parented.
Right.
I had good elders. And he was just on it.
Yeah, and kids are honest. You know what I mean?
That's what made it easy.
Yeah, it's like, kids will tell you. You just got to treat them like a person. And I mean, as a parent, that's the line you got to walk. It's like, if I'm not a friend, I'm your parent. I'm here to help you, but don't talk to me like I'm one of your friends. So like, that's one of the things I did early, teach them time and place. Like, we can joke at home, we can have fun, blah, blah, blah. But when we're in public, you got to know how to act. You got to make sure you maintain your manners, your bearing, your discipline. Like,
your shit talking level might be lower.
Yeah, like, because, man, we yap at one another, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, we were talking shit to him when we were playing pool.
Yeah, and it's crazy because, like, they'll give it right back now. So it's cool, and it's like, that's fun at home. But when we're in public, we're not doing that because people will be like, that's disrespectful. And I know you're kidding. Your mom knows you're kidding, but you don't need to act like that in public. And then first impressions mean a lot in everything you do. Then they get to see like how many people know Aranda and I. They're like, y'all know everybody. I'm like, just because we talk to people and we carry ourselves well, so people remember us. They're like, oh, so now they have their little friend groups, and they, you know, they're not afraid to go like, hey, you know how, you know, my name is Mackenzie. How, you know, who are you? Blah, blah, blah. And they'll go introduce themselves to other kids and, you know, start their own little networking. They're like, oh, this person likes this person likes that, you know. So they come home with stories. I'm just like, y'all are crazy, but this is awesome.
It's crazy too, because I still feel like you and I are pretty young, and they're getting so old.
Yeah, they're like full out little people now. It's crazy when I think about it. Mackenzie always, she's like, yeah, I'm really a little person, huh? She's got a short complex. I mean, you've seen how she plays soccer. She makes sure
forceful.
Yeah,
when we kicked the ball around that day, it was hilarious because she bodied me, and it was like so firm.
Yeah, she's like small body, big heart. She's like got something to prove, because she didn't make a team because she was too small. And they were like, she would have made it if she had like 3-4 more inches on her, because that whole team was giants. But then we played them, and she helped beat them. And when she played a year up, and it was funny because for her, it was like bittersweet. She's like, you cut me? I mean, I didn't make the team. Yeah, I stopped your best player. Because she plays defense. This is one of the smallest.
Yeah, she's like right back, isn't she?
She played center back the other day and killed it. Took it all the way up to the other 18. It was insane, bro. She just dribbled. I was like, oh, okay, Mackenzie. All right, I see you. But yeah, she's got a lot more confidence now in what she's doing and stuff. And the one-on-ones with Doug help. And then she's got her mom in her ear all the time. And then her Nana bought her that dribble up ball. So she'll set up the iPad and she'll get her touches in, and yeah. So she, even if she's in the
they're
house,
so
bro,
dedicated,
bro. Even she'll set it up in her room and she'll get her like 116 touches in on this one, and then do another 68 on this one, and then just move. It's just like a game with them. So I'm like, bro, if you're gonna be on a screen, get your touches in. It's cold outside, get your touches in. And then so now she's like that, and then the weather's been getting nice. We've been hitting that park that we went to kick around. So that's been fun. They're actually doing construction on it right now. I hope they're not turning that half of the field into a parking lot. That would suck.
Yeah, because it is a nice field.
Yeah, bro.
A little bit shorter, smaller goals, easier on the body.
Yeah, 100%. So we'll hit that. And then Landon's been just nonstop. He's wrestling. He took a week off because the gym was like, I mean, you competed in the States. Everybody deserves some time off. We'll get back to normal, next week. And then this was that week. And he's back at it again, working out with G, hitting practice 3 times a week. And then when it was break time, he ended up coming to top team and wrestling me. So it was like he didn't take a break anyway. Yeah, he was just like, I need to go. I need to move. So he just calling me. And Danny loved to have him. He was like, Landon, you're shooting from too far. Try that. But, then he, like I said, he got to scramble with Josh. And, Josh was cold to scramble with. So that was really nice for him. And then Josh is asking him questions about his single leg. So that made him feel good. He was like, yeah, Josh was asking me how I did it, And I told him about windshield wipe. And I'm like, oh, okay. So he was like, now he's kind of like even more confident in his abilities. Because he went in there and he was just shooting. I was like, that's good. Scramble hard, win the position. That's kind of what he's working on now. It's just...
That's what it's like. I get to keep up. I'm just the uncle, but I get to see so much through you and Aranda where I'm like, dang, they're really like little professionals.
It's crazy because they eat clean. They train hard. It's actually wild. And being able to homeschool them is nice.
Yeah, they train, they study.
And then they have the whole day to themselves. We got them this English workbook. Getting them to do a worksheet is crazy because they're like when Aranda and I are like hands-on on other days and stuff, it's more like we'll watch a video, then I'll ask them questions, and then I'll be like, so go research and tell me something about this. And then they'll do a little, Google search, learn how to find things, and they'll give me some interesting facts and stuff. And then that kind of makes it fun for them to, help it stick. And then like English work and math work, we have worksheets and programs for that so they get repetition and practice. But a lot of the time they're out with us. Like Landon today, I had bet him $1,000 he couldn't catch a dragonfly out of the sky. Because dragonflies, they're hard to catch. You're not, you know what I mean? So I'm thinking, bro, there's no way. 38 minutes later, he comes over with a dragonfly. We watched it happen. we're watching Mackenzie's game. He's off in another field, jumping around, grabbing the air. He looks crazy. You can tell he's like walking low, and then he snatches it. He comes back. He's got this dragonfly. He's shaking, sweaty as hell. He's like, I caught one. And I'm like, no way. I owe this kid $1,000. I'm never making a bet like that again. But he went out and got a bunch of fishing stuff on my dime today because I owed him. I'm always going to pay my debt. So he went out, got like 3 new poles, a bunch of new tackle, a tackle box. Awesome. So he's ready to fish. He's like, this week we're fishing. It's like, all right, get your chores done, hit the school early, and we can fish the rest of the day. And he was like, all right, cool. So that's kind of where he's at. But it's kind of crazy to think now they're like, yeah, I'll bet you right now. I'll do that. And then they go out and do it. And we're like, bro, what's happening here?
That's how you raise them efficient.
It's crazy.
Independent.
Yeah, it's like they're like, oh, you want me to do this? And then he's randomly teaching himself how to juggle right now. That's like his thing right now. He like watched this guy on YouTube, and the dude is like teaching different ways to juggle different objects. And then he's got a website that, you know, we got him hacky sacks first. And then he's like, I need juggling balls. Like, I want juggling balls. So he bought himself some juggling balls today. And that's ordered. But he's getting good, bro. He started with the hacky sacks, and he's doing like different tricks. And he's like, oh, fuck. I'm just like, bro, what? He's like, Mackenzie's like, this is all he does in the room. This is it. He just stands in there and just. So that's got his attention right now. He's like me. He'll find something on hard dive.
It's like when we play pool.
Yeah.
We're not the best pool players, but man, when we're playing together, we're locked in. I remember a couple weeks ago we got to run like nice 12 something games.
Yeah, that was tough.
I don't know. I get proud about like how you all raise them, because I just feel like you all think of so many different things. So to see the steady progression in them and in you, like we were talking real estate before, then got to play some pool, then do this, but we're talking about all these stories of activity we've done. It's just like, I feel like that's what life's about, is like the book of all these activities.
Yeah, like all the stories, everything you got to do instead of the things I should have did. That was like, bro, just do it. It's like, I don't have time. That's kind of our new thing. And then it's like, everybody's like, I don't have time. We've compressed our days. So one day is like 4 days to us. So, because how we look at it, 6 to 12, that's like breakfast, running errands, getting his homeschooling, getting as much as we can done. Then from noon to 6, we're relaxing, and then we're getting ready for the gym. Now 6 to 12, we're all in the gym, and then we get home, we eat dinner, we shower, and then we're in bed. Now from 12 to 6 again, we're sleeping. So we've compressed one day into 4 days. Mm-hmm. Times that by 7, we have 28 days in the week. So that's how we're operating now. Everything is now scheduled, because now we have to be in more places at once. Because Landon's getting serious in his wrestling. Mackenzie's getting serious in soccer. Spring soccer season just started, so the weather's nice. She's got more practices. Like, we were talking about it last week, and we spent 3 hours alone in the car on Thursdays, because we leave. She drops me off at Top Team, or depending on if she's got orders, because she's been randomly getting like custom orders. So I'll drop Mackenzie off to Midwest City for soccer, then drive to Norman, drop him off for his practice. He gets there at 6:30. His practice starts at 7. So he's able to like warm up and chill. And then his practice starts at 7, ends at 8. Mackenzie's practice ends at 7. So I drop him off, drive another half hour back to Midwest City, pick her up in time to drive back to Norman and pick him up.
And then back and drive to North Side. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like Thursday is at least damn near a half tank of gas, and we're in the car for an eighth of the day. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's crazy. And now it's Monday now too, because Mackenzie's got soccer, spring soccer. So it's like, we just kind of find ways to make it happen. Like, they love it, so we're just going to let them chase it. You know what I mean? And like, now Mackenzie's like, her coach is like, Mackenzie's like my little assistant coach. And then she's like, she's on everybody. She's like, accountability. And it's cool to see, because we told her, like, you got to vocalize, because she would come home frustrated. Typical girl stuff. My wife warned her this will happen. You know, girls get cliquish. I'm like, you got a bunch of individual athletes not playing as a team. This is why you lose the easy games. And she sees it, because she hears the girl, like, my kid is such an anti-bully. It turns into like, now I have to defend this kid because y'all want to be like assholes. And she's on it. She's like, why would you say that? That's your teammate. Like, she calls him out. So when the coach found out girls were talking bad about other girls on the team, they're like, you won't play if we figure it. And Mackenzie's like, I'll tell you who it was. And it was boom, boom, boom. He was like, good to know. I'll keep an eye on them. Because we would tell her, I was like, bro, in our day, our coaches are making us run. We talk back, we're running. We get loud and obnoxious, we're running. Like, this is like, you don't show up to practice, you don't start. And it's like, these girls have like good individual skill sets and are now trying to put it together as a team. Because I guess the coach prior to was a lady who would feed into it and talk crap about the kids to the kids. So they feel like comfortable doing it. And Mackenzie's like, no, I'm not with that. Like, you're not going to bully anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all afraid of her because they know she does kickboxing and jiu-jitsu and blah, blah, blah. And now, like, this last game this weekend, they were asking parents, like, who would you make a captain? Like, Mackenzie. Everybody, all the parents, Mackenzie. She's the only one that headers. She's the only one that challenges the bigger girls. It's frustrating for me to watch her get frustrated over things she can't control. Because I try to explain to her, I'm like, that's where you need somebody stepping in with accountability. She told her coach, she was like, you need to be hard on them. Like, you're soft. Like, respectfully, you're soft because they're girls and he doesn't want to hurt feelings. But Mackenzie's like, you need to hurt feelings. Like, they're not going to get any better. We're not going to get any better. I'm tired of losing. And she had that. We told her, we're like, don't tell us. We're not going to tell your coach. And this is why it's hard for Aranda, because Aranda's played at a high level. She's played internationally. She's played, scholarship offers, D1. She's cold. And like, she's really, really good. And this is one of those things I was like, Mom, you got to handle soccer. Because like, I played soccer cool, but like not to the extent of you. You know what I mean? I'm going to keep it real. So I was like, that's where she doesn't get to calm down because she doesn't fully have confidence in coaches sometimes. And she's like,
the opposite of what you're doing with the wrestling.
Right, with the wrestling. And then now, because Mackenzie is starting to be like more like, I guess, vocal. And she told the coach, like, you have to do this because these girls aren't taking you seriously. Now he's threatening to make the girls run and the girls are listening. You know what I mean? So it's like one of those things. Mackenzie was like, my parents said this. Then he was like, he comes up to us and is like, is there anything we need to talk about? We're like, no, Mackenzie spoke to you already. Like, we talk to her, we give her feedback, and we tell her, come talk to you because you're her coach. We're not her coach. And he was like, that makes sense. And then now he's seeing it because she's very vocal. First two, one on. Those girls don't talk to one another. And she's starting to see, like, the clicks and stuff. So she's trying to be like, yo, y'all need to cut this out or we're going to keep losing. And she's competitive. She's competitive, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean. So that's been cool to watch. And now like her coach is like getting in on them a little bit more. And like the lack of effort that was there is not as bad. Cause like, that's another sport where the parents are living vicariously to the girls. Like absolutely no knowledge. Like you've never played soccer. Why are you trying to coach from the sidelines? You're giving it like Aranda will sit there and be like, because they're saying the wrong things. It's like they have positions to play and zones to play. You can't expect your kid who's, right back to take it all the way up and score. That's, you know what I mean? Like, that's not how that works. So let's be realistic. You know what I mean? Like, let's be realistic here. Like, coaches coach and blah, blah, blah. And ever since, Mackenzie's got in her coach's ass a little bit, it's kind of changed. And it's nice because he actually takes what she says seriously. And I mean, they've won the last 2 games. They look good. They're passing the ball. It's cool. She got to play a new position, and she was like really comfortable there. It's like she was playing center back and quarterbacking the defense. Yeah, that was. And like somebody came in for the left back. She was like, "Hey, you gotta do this. When they hit that, you pull." And I was just like, "All right, I see Mackenzie. Like, good stuff." And then so like, she's got her own stuff that she's dealing with that like is helping her be more vocal and come out of her shell a little bit because she's not afraid of anything. It's just, you got to say this stuff. We can't be you.
I love that though. Like if you have something to say, you need to
address it.
Mm-hmm.
Address it because then you're just mad and you can control that. Communicate effectively. Don't be like a jerk about it, but respectfully communicate your frustrations. And if you have solutions, be like, offer them. Be like, can I offer some solutions that I think would work? Blah, blah, blah. And I mean, she follows through, she executes, and they're comfortable talking to adults because, like I said, they've been around adults. And I mean, we're no stranger to making them talk. We make them check out at the grocery store. We make them check out at restaurants. You know, they talk, they, you know, order their own food, whatever they have to do. So they have the confidence to speak. It's learning how to effectively do it and get the point across.
Yeah.
So then that's kind of what she's been doing and working on. So it's a lot. It's crazy.
Yeah, the full-time schedule, man, it's just crazy with what you do.
And it's wild because, like, listening to Daniel Cormier, I don't feel crazy anymore because his kids are on the same schedule. And, like, he held his son back in 8th grade because they went to Dagestan for, like, 6 months and came back and was still in 8th grade and was putting in work on 8th grade. It was wrestling. So it's like, I don't feel crazy that he wants to pursue what he wants. And he never wanted to go to college before. He wanted to go to, like, a trade school and blah, blah, but now he's like, I'll go to college if I could wrestle. I was like, oh, you want it like that? And he's just like, yeah, if I could wrestle, I'll figure it out. I'm like, okay, all right. See, I never forced college on him at all because I was like, you can, if you have a field of study that you like, sure, hit that. That's perfect. We'll get you through college. There's no issue. But if there's a trade that you like, you can also do that and be just as successful. It's all of how you run your life. You have free will. So with that, that was the conversation we had because I started going back to school. Aranda and I have like aerospace engineering degrees from the Air Force, but like we're never going to do anything with them. And we have a GI Bill. So why would we? Aranda doesn't. She got like cosmetology license and stuff paid for. So hers is used up. But I have this GI Bill. Why wouldn't I use it? So that's kind of what I'm doing now is going back to school for like plant animal science.
That's so cool.
Sustainability and like in ag and stuff like that. Because you know me, I'm Mr. Green Thumb. So I like to advance my knowledge on some things because I mean, I'm pretty self-taught. I've talked to people who have graduated school. They're surprised at the amount that I do know being self-taught, but I'm a nerd. I just read and then I listen to podcasts and I like dive pretty deep into things. And then I'm just like, you know what? I need to know more. And Miranda's like, this is how you're going to go to college. You need to know more. I'm like, yeah. So like for me, it's really just a tool for me to figure more stuff out and like use their labs. And like, if I end up wanting to go do what I need to do, I'll like write a thesis or something. Like, I don't know.
That's dope. That's why we always talk about like the homestead land, and you all would definitely be someone that we would like feel comfortable with sharing a space because bringing so many different, like my strengths or Aranda's or Rachel's or your, it's like we actually could do a lot because we've kind of self-taught each other with even just the hunting side that we've done. We're like, okay, I think we cut it here.
We're cool with looking crazy. That's the problem. Like most people's like fear is like public embarrassment. And it's like, why do you care? Like if people think something of you, how does that affect your life in any way? It's like, oh, you feel bad that they think that way? They're not paying your bills. Like they're not living your life. They're not, you know what I mean? They're not really contributing to your advancement. So why does their opinion matter? And like, you shouldn't be taking, you know, suggestions and opinions from people who aren't doing what you're trying to do, done what you've done, because what are they going to give you? Like they haven't even attempted. And that's what I tell the kids about. I'm like, I've failed more times than some people try.
Right.
And you have to be good at failing forward to be good at anything. If you're not comfortable being hilariously bad at something, you'll never get good at it. You know what I mean?
And that's why doing hard stuff is so important.
100%. And it's like, I can see that as a way to build character without having to like put my kids through a struggle per se. You know what I mean? And that's like, a lot of people are like, I want to be successful and I want to bring generational curses and blah, blah, blah. And then they directly correlate that to the amount of money they make. And it's like, you can have all this money, but be a terrible person. How are you advancing yourself to advance humanity?
Yeah, like all those pieces of the pie chart.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, you can be a billionaire and still feel empty. You know what I mean? Because you don't have hobbies. You don't have a passion for anything. So like, it's teaching them balance, letting them understand that they have free will. So every decision they make is on them. So they have to accept the accountability of what comes with it. So it's like, it's a wild line to walk when you think about it like that, because I'm really raising other human beings. And I always tell them, be better than me. Yeah. Like, I be better than me. I'm still learning. And I apologize to them. I'm like, there's probably like trauma that y'all have from me because I'm healing myself as I go. So I'm sorry, you know? And they're just like, well, thanks, Dad. That means a lot that you're aware. They don't say it like that, but they have their own. They're like, I appreciate that.
Well, at least when they're looking back when they are grown and they can pinpoint some things that were not so great.
Yeah.
They can be like, man, at least he
knew and he apologized. Because, like, bro, as you get older, you realize your parents were just teaching themselves too. So it's like
they're always around this age.
It's crazy.
And you're like, no wonder they didn't know shit.
Yeah, it's like, bro, I'm just a big ass kid. Like, I'm still trying to figure it out. So it's like, excuse me. So it's like being able to teach them early what I learned late has been pretty cool.
Yeah, you're skipping steps.
Yeah, so now it's like a cheat code because now I can explain things to them without having to over discipline them. Like, the discipline is still there. They mess up, they're going to know. They're going to be held accountable. There will be a punishment of some sort, but they're going to learn from it to not repeat the same mistake. You know what I mean?
Well, and I see how they look up to you all, how they
try, bro. You know what I mean? Because then, like, we're very open with them, and we let them know, like, hey, this is wrong, this is why. And, like, we let them kind of feel things, and then without guilting them, like, because kids are naturally just good. They're innocent. So you don't want to take any of that innocence from them and, like...
It's that overcorrect, like you said.
Like, you just want them to be kids. And that's kind of what since we pulled them out of school, what was that, second grade? That's kind of what, like, before school, there were these kids. They were just bright and bubbly. And by second grade, they were just, like, already used to the mundane. Like, you can see, like, Landon's joy just get pulled right out of him because he's a happy-go-lucky, active kid. Like, when we're doing schoolwork, he's not sitting down like his sister. He's at the counter, at the table, standing up, fidgeting, jumping around, He's got to move. He's dancing. But that's how I was. Like, I was always playing with a pen, spinning my pen or, pop locking in my seat. So it was like, I get it. And we're just dudes. That's kind of what it is.
Yeah.
But being able to let him do that while still learning was kind of a way to let him get back to being confident and comfortable. So that's been cool.
Yeah, because that's what I noticed the most with them is they're them.
Yeah.
So for you all to realize it and be aware.
Because, like, with parenting, people are like, don't ask why. Just do it as I say. Like, I mean, as a kid, that's what we heard,
that's
right?
Like,
I said why? So. Boom. Because I said so. And it's like, what's that teaching them? Not to think? Just follow blindly? What if they genuinely had a question? So we taught the time and place thing. Like, if you have a question, come holler at me on the side. Don't question it out loud to where it looks rude, because essentially it kind of is when you're just like, why? So they'll just be like, so why are we doing this? And I'll be like, well, we're trying to accomplish this. And to accomplish this, we need to get this done. So here's why we're going to do this and how we're going to do this to get to this step. And, like, we try to break things down in, like, a flow chart. So, like, a visual aid is important. So the more they understand, the more helpful they are. And then the more confident they are, because when you know something going into what you have to do, you feel a lot better than trying to, like, fiddle your way around.
Mm-hmm.
But then you also have to deal with fiddling around you know what I mean? Because you don't want it to be easy. You want some kind of resistance there. So, like I said, I kind of let them think for themselves, do what they need to do, and then explain it how I need to explain it, just so it's not like, because I said so. Because, like, then they don't question anything. Then that like stops learning. When you're like, because I said, okay, but what did I learn from you telling me to do this? You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just like, now, let's say later on down the road, you regret that decision, but that's what you taught me. Now that's hardwired into my brain. And now I have to reteach myself. And for a lot of people, that's hard, having to break a habit and relearn something. And that's why most people just are stuck in their ways.
Yeah.
So it's like, if we can nip that in the butt early, that's what we're going to do, and teach them to think thoroughly and before they make a decision. And that's kind of what it's boiled down to, essentially, with them right now. It's crazy.
Man, I appreciate the depth of not only our conversation today, but just like our relationship. I know I've kind of mentioned it, but the range of stuff we've talked about is just so insane, because there's been so many times we're in the car for hours driving somewhere, or driving to Enid for a listing, or you picking up the coyote skin and deer skin for me from the taxidermist.
Yeah.
Like, all these things we do, and we always talk about it like day two friends, because me and you grew up in the era of, like, you find your clique and that's your boys for life.
Yeah.
To find each other so, not randomly because it's meant to be, but just so
Naturally.
It's just so unhard
Yeah.
to like become friends. Like it's just so
it just flowed. Yeah.
it's like it's been one of those blessings. And I know we say it on the phone because we are pretty vocal about like what we mean to each other. But we got so lucky. Because this is crazy. Like to sit here for almost 2 hours and get to talk like we did, or an hour and a half, I think. Yeah, hour and a half.
Just been yapping.
It's just impressive because the depth, man. So I like for it to be episode 3 and be basically June 2024, and now it be March 26, and so many episodes. It's like I can't thank you enough for the help in the beginning, especially on the editing side, like putting me in the right conversations, but like just the unwarranted support, like just always there. So
bro. It's free.
I appreciate it, bro. And I have to ask, since obviously we could talk about so much. Right. Is there anything you have for me, bro, before we wrap up?
Honestly, bro, I just appreciate, like you said, the friendship, because we are pretty open with one another. Like we have a pretty healthy relationship. It's really cool. Like you said, with the day one and day twos, like you always have your day ones. And that's cool because you grew up together. You couldn't control that. That was who you were around 100% of the time. So those people will always be like special in a sense. Then, like you said, the day twos. I have a good amount of day twos where I'm like, I'm so appreciative of our friendship because everyone brings something different to the table. Mm-hmm. And like, we're such like an open group that like you can really bounce ideas, and everyone is like successful in their own ways and trying to do things, and like everyone's really supportive. So I appreciate you in that aspect too, because you, every time I post something, you share it too. I mean, it's free to support your homies and your friends, so it's always nice to have that. And then like you said, we're pretty in tune with one another. Like when your grandpa died, you and I talked for however long. Then when my grandmother died, you came to pick up the deer skin, and we sat in the driveway for like what 15-20 minutes, just like it was like a release. And I felt better before I had to go give my speech and stuff. So like it's always cool.
We always get these little moments.
Yeah, and it's like you can't write them. Speaking, you know what I mean? It was like you saying that, I felt like, all right, I feel good then. Like I can go do this. You know what I mean?
Because that's what it was. Is it was like, man, I've dealt with that before, not in the exact same way, but I know it was hard for me, so it's going to be hard for you. But just like do it.
Just chill. Like you got it, bro.
Like just do it. Whatever happens. And when you brought up the grandpa thing, like I remember calling you, and I was like, and I'm fine at crying. That's not a problem.
Right.
But I called you, and I was like, hey man, I need you to do something, and just like
choked up. And I was like, oh no, something's wrong. We're doing it right now. I'm on my way.
I heard it so serious, and you're like, when? And I was like, I guess today. And you're like, okay, so you come with me, meet my dad for the first time, and his best friend, and you're literally basically documenting us doing
the entire thing. That was so tight too.
The first time putting the handmade canoe for my grandfather and his friend in the water before he passed, and doing this blessing and all this stuff.
Yeah, and that was cool for me because I had never seen like your culture like so, what's the word, like represented, I guess. Mm-hmm. So it was like super cool to be a part of that. Watch the whole thing, watch you and your dad do your thing, and then it was and then playing the flute. That was the first time I heard you play the flute. That was tight.
It's crazy.
That was so tight because it gave me chills, bro. We were sitting on the canoe and that thing cut through that water, bro. It was like you were, and it was moving, bro.
You got some crazy pictures, and that one of the pictures you took is like where the sun's sitting, and it's basically me and my dad sideways with the silhouette shadowed.
Fire.
It's in the room where he had that other painting I showed you today.
Yeah, that's because I was like that picture. I was like, oh my god, this is perfect. Like,
I looked at it,
and there was the glare of the water, and it's like, oh, bro, yeah.
It's just funny because when I looked at it the other day, when I got that other photo from him, I was like, damn, Sonny took that.
Crazy. And then there's the one picture, the comic relief of like the canoe, and then you're off to the side, like using the bathroom, and I'm just like, they're gonna love this.
Like it's just so true or so real, because since me and you are so close, whatever situation we're in, we're just all the way in it.
Yeah, 100%.
Even if we don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Like we either have a leader or we're doing it or whatever, and it's like, I guess that's what makes it the most fun. Because even the day when we were processing all those deer,
that was
your kids got bored, went outside. That's fine. They already gave us like 2 hours.
Yeah, and then me and you went to work.
We went to work, and I remember, I don't even know if you remember. You probably do, obviously. But you looked over at me, just out of nowhere. We're sitting there cutting up this meat, breaking it down. You were vacuum saying like, and you say, Zach, you leave the world, or you leave people better than you found them every time. And I'm like,
yeah, because we had talked about legacy. Because you were like, I don't want kids. And I was like, well, I mean, when you think about it, everybody you come in contact with remembers you. They all tell you their story. And then, like, for me, you gave me that pool cue. Fire.
Oh yeah,
Like, that was
such
such a...
which meant a lot to me because my mom gave me that in 7th grade.
That's what I'm saying. So that stick is older than both of us. You know what I mean? And then, like, you aren't able to pass it down to your kid, but you gave it to me. I have someone to pass it down to. So that's another way your legacy kind of permeates.
Yeah, and it felt so right to give to you.
Yeah, it was fire. Now I take it with me everywhere, except today. Then you cooked me today.
That's why you didn't have your stick.
I need my
But I needed redemption.
Nah, I need my get back now.
I was upset because you came, and I was so excited to play last time you came because
We
we were
went
really
10 games, bro.
and you were just getting the better of me. And I was
10
like,
games.
I told you I was done coaching too.
Yeah, you're like, I'm done. I was like, all right. That was my first day when we played where I went positive. Like I was 6 for 4.
Well, you showed up with your cue.
That's why I was like, I was different. I was in there. So
It's crazy that you say that though, because like you mentioned that to me when we were doing the deer, and it was because when I had interviewed Tav, Hefe, and Marv in the UK, they had asked me legacy.
Man,
and I said,
brought it up.
I guess, well, I want my legacy to be as like how I treat the world.
Yeah,
and when you said that day, it meant so much because like I thought kids were what I wanted, and maybe later on down the line I changed.
I mean,
but
that time,
I don't know. It just felt so right. And there's all these moments like people don't know. Like me and you'll be sitting watching a sunrise about to hunt, and we have like these heart to hearts, or we're talking shit about the most reckless stuff.
Yeah, it's like, bro, we could have did that. Glad we didn't.
Or we talk about what we did before we knew each other. And it's like that's why we're friends, because we both.
You're wild.
But I guess I just say it all to say I appreciate you coming on again. Yeah. I appreciate this.
Always fun.
Always welcome. Can't wait till you come by again for the pool. But just like the amount of stuff we do together, like.
Yeah,
is a blessing.
It's definitely a blessing. And it's always a good time. Like when you hit up me and Rando, it's like, let's go hike. I went up there and got all the pictures. Fire. And she still had a torn labrum at that time, climbing a mountain.
And it's just the beginning too.
Yeah, no, we're still going. That's what's crazy.
My boy. Love you, bro.
Love you too, bro.